Hey, at least it's not up there in that corner blinking back.
Oh, I'll get one up there in a minute.
No, you won't. I'm gonna cover it up.
Anyway, so, like I said, most numbers have an irrational square root. There's some that have a rational. You may as well memorize those. And I think they kind of mostly enforce that through here, so that's all right. Anyway, so basically, number one, A is going to be, is that rational or irrational? Square root of 3 is irrational. Right? It doesn't come out evenly.
Irrational.
And so on and so forth. 4 and 5, one of them is rational, one of them isn't.
Rational for B.
B is rational, that's correct. And C is not. 2, you basically just use the table of square roots in this situation. You could honestly, I don't care if you use your calculator to find these. Just round them to the nearest hundredth, and it's fine. But if you just want to use the table of square roots, it's easily.
Like number 3.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
All right. So here's what you got to do. Basically, they just. Well, I'll just do 3A for you. We'll do it together, I guess. So basically, you just use the table of square roots, and well, they're just looking for real numbers, and so you just round them, right? So what's the square root of 8? It's 8 plus the square root of 8 plus the square root of 18. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right.
So it's
2 plus square root of 8.
2.8. Huh?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
2.8, 2.8, 2.84,
Okay, okay, round it to the nearest hundredth for me. 2.282, 2.283.
3.
283. And then you add that to the square, the irrational square root of 18. Round it to the nearest hundredth. No, it's not.
2.4.
4.24. Right, so that's rounded to the nearest hundredth. So now you just add these together, right? So now it's just, at this point, you just go 2.83 plus 4.24. You shouldn't even need your calculator for this one.
Correct. Should I finish?
Oh, problem. Don't use your calculator for it, is what I'm saying. Just add them together manually like a good little person.
What calculator?
I don't want this thing carried in my hand. I'll use it. I don't know what it's called. It's little numbers.
What are calculators?
Yeah, I
I
don't know
mean,
what
these
are.
are buttons that I press. They just.
It's a pocket computer.
You made me happy.
Anyway, so that's all that is. It's just simple multiplication, addition, and subtraction. You just simply have to round your roots to the hundredth and then just work them. So like C, for example, there is actually a rational in there as well. There's the number 9, the square root of 9 is a rational root.
Yeah.
So, but like
Okay.
number 3, you don't have to add those together. It just says simplify.
Yeah, but they're saying simplify, and that means add it together as well.
It
So,
doesn't say solve.
Add, subtract, well, that's part of simplification.
No,
They
simplify.
didn't finish their,
Usually
they haven't
it says
finished,
simplify
they
and
haven't
solve.
finished educating you yet. And simplify simply means to
Oh,
just
I
solve it
think-
as far as you can without
Does that work?
well, no,
No, but
without
like,
using the,
then why did it usually say simplify and solve?
because they're working on educating. Simplifying in this situation means
Can I
solving.
educate them?
No,
Bounce
they're
back,
right,
back.
unfortunately.
Hey, for number 4, like, what are you supposed to do then?
All right, so at number 4, all you're doing here is you're just simply writing
You're just simply
the
using
roots
this-
rounded. You have to use your calculator. You write the roots rounded to a certain number, right? So,
for
like the square root of 7 is what you're going to be working with.
Where?
So it says calculate these missing squares of the rounded square roots of 3 and 7.
3. And then
They did 3 already.
No.
How do I
Oh,
say about
for
4?
A and B.
For A and B.
For A and B. Yeah.
What did they say?
For A and B. So I'm just gonna go 3 rooted. No, but they did.
So that's 7 is what they're looking for.
What?
They're looking for the root of 7, the square root of 7.
What? That's for number 4.
Oh,
For
okay, I
number
see.
4 is.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing what's going on.
What?
Can you
Squares are
explain
rounded
it, please?
roots. All right, so let me explain. Basically, you just simply need to hit the root button for 3, and round it to Oh. No. Here's what you do.
So
You
what
take
you're saying is
1.73. Yeah, I see what they're doing.
They're
So you take
rounding
1.73 and multiply it by 1.73, right?
So you just square it.
What they're saying is it's not going to come out exactly to 3. So the square root of 3 it's an approximation. When you round it, obviously, you're not going to come back with the same number.
So it'd be 2.99.
Like this, for example. Let me walk you through this, and this will help you understand if you're confused. All right? So the square root of 9, even if you aren't confused, I want you to pay attention. The square root of 9 is 3, correct?
Yeah.
So if you would work that backwards, you would go 3 times 3 equals 9. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It comes out exactly because it's a rational square root. This is the beauty of rational square roots.
So for number
Irrational square roots, hang on, don't interrupt me. Irrational square roots are unfortunately different in that you have to round them. So we're going to work with the square root of 3, which we know comes out to a long, long number, right? So the first one, rounded to,
So, Mr. Kent, pi never starts
Hang on
repeating
a
or
second.
anything.
so
So pi never repeats. Ever,
We're not worried about pi
That
right
part goes. But what
don't
about the other
interrupt me
irrational
right
numbers?
now, okay? We're working on this for a second. So basically what they're doing here is they're saying, so if you go 1.7, which is technically a rounded square root of 3, you can multiply that by itself, like we do here. So 1.7 times 1.7, and you would get a number, but it wouldn't be, well, what you'd wind up with is 2.89. Notice how that's not actually 3?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying, all right?
You just need to
So now let's go to the next place. Are you with me, Richard? Hang on a
1.7.
second.
Yeah.
Right,
Sort
so
of.
well, stick with me closer. I need to go this way. 1.73, we multiply 1.73 times 1.73. You can go ahead and make your calculator for that.
2.9929.
Exactly.
So
2.9929.
It's really.
Notice how that gets closer to 3, but it's not actually there yet. It's still not 3.
And then,
This number is still not 3. So now we'll go to the thousandths place. So that's 1.73. What is it? Yes. And multiply that by 1.732. And notice how this gets even closer to 3, but it's still not there.
2.99824. You're supposed to write it all the way out.
2.998. Yeah, write it out as far as they have it. 824.
On the calculator?
Yeah, when you calculate this, when you go 1.732 times 1.732, you'll wind up with this. And this is closer to 3
Every time.
every time.
You
But
still
it's
can't.
not there yet, and it'll never get there because you always have to round it.
It'll be like 0.99.
Right. And that's the unfortunate thing about rounded square root. All right, so you were saying with pi, Richard, that pi never ends.
Yeah, but does irrational
No,
numbers?
irrational roots don't end either. And that's why they're irrational. If they did end, they'd be rational.
I know, but what if they just ended, like, at the one, like, you know how they'd have, like, out in the 200 millionth place or something for pi? Now I'm listening. Where is that?
200th place. Or, oh yeah, that way.
What if it was like,
That's rounded. Like that, obviously, almost nobody is going to need that exact.
I know, but like, what if an irrational number does end way out there, somewhere, even beyond that? Is that possible? That it does? even
It's not.
way
No,
out?
it's not possible. Because of the way the squares and roots work, it's not going to be possible for that to happen. We're not going to start the discussion on how to find the square root manually, because I don't like to do it. It's actually not a fun thing for me to do in math. It's one of the things I don't like, and that's partially because it's an inexact science. It's, that whole thing where you guess in long division, kind of, you make an educated guess. You do that just forever. Like, you just keep going and going and going, and it's tremendously inconvenient. I hate it.
Doesn't that sound like this? Fractions keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Anything like
No, but those are exact numbers. Irrational numbers are fine. but they're not. They can be used and they have to be used occasionally. But we have to round them because there's no way we can use them to their exactness. Like there's no reason or way for us to use pi to its exact specifications. So we just go to like the 10,000ths place. Like most of the things I do, the 10,000ths place is easily good enough. For most of what I do, the 10,000ths place would be easily good enough for roots as well. Just that I hate roots.
Do you like beer with roots?
Hmm?
Do you like beer with roots?
Sure. Did everybody get number 8 done?
I need help on 24.
Yeah.
You have 8 done, Leah?
I need help on 24.
Yeah.
Would you like to double check your answers so that you can maybe get it right tomorrow?
Sure.
So if I tell you my answer,
I can tell you, yes. I will, if you have the right answer, I'll let you know.
oh, I have 56.52 meters squared.
That's it.
I have that too.
For which one?
Number 8. What do you have?
I have 51.81.
That's wrong.
Increase the float.
I would have had it wrong because I didn't see the calculator sign. And then I went back and checked it with the calculator.
Calculator sign just makes it easier.
I know.
And
Yeah,
then
but I had done the whole problem without the calculators. I
did
was
that.
really grouchy.
Good
when we
job.
were first learning the percentage of income and loss,
Yes.
and we would deal with the calculator, you know, I saw that, well, like, that we were only supposed to figure out how much they lost in dollars, not the percent. And it was like this incredibly hard problem, and there was no calculator sign. And it worked, and it worked, and it worked. I finally get the percent, only to figure out that I didn't even have to. And then I got it, and I think I might have, I don't think I got it off there.
Number 29. In a gathering of 300 people, 30 are left-handed.
Whoa, this is a long answer.
So what's our ratio?
30 over 300.
30 over 300.
But it's 3 out of 30 people will be left-handed.
Okay. You can simplify that even further.
Really?
Yes. Both of those are divisible by
3. So 115.
no. What's 30 divided by 3?
Oh, 10.
Yes.
So that's the number 8.
So,
So the number 8, the right answer is 61.23.
no.
56.52.
How are you getting that?
How are you getting your number? So what do you have for the surface area of the circle?
Well, there's 2 circles, right?
Yeah.
I got 18.
But the area of one should be what?
9.42.
No.
Yeah.
The surface area of one end, no, is not.
You'd go 3.14
Times.
times 1.5 squared.
Yes. 1.5 squared is?
3.25.
Yes. So 3.14 times 2.25 is?
Be 14.13.
No.
No, that's the whole answer.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. For both ends. And then the circumference of that circle is?
9.42.
Yes.
Just
You
checking.
need your length, width, and that.
Is roots your least favorite thing in math?
It's gotta be close.
What's your
Irrational roots. Rational roots are fine. I enjoy rational roots, but irrational roots give me headaches.
Yeah, right
But
now,
I have a
least
system
favorite
where
So
thing.
it'd be 56.52.
What is your
Meters
least
squared.
favorite
Yeah.
part of math?
My least favorite part of math?
Algebra.
I'm not algebra, amazing. Honestly, right now, It's not my least favorite part, but I'm really struggling to wrap my head around it, and that's the imaginary number thing.
Are they doing imaginary numbers?
No, I'm doing it. In my
Hey,
own-
so, but what I hate is when they have like a whole ton of just decimals and tiny numbers near the digits time. Like
Welcome to
number
real life.
26C.
Welcome to real life.
It's so dumb.
Ooh, I hate those. I hate those.
Those things happen
Yeah, what's
so frequently in real life that it's really, it's too bad.
Are we going to have the interest for however many days on the test?
We have to figure out what the total cost of the car was with interest, and with the.
No, with the days thing.
Hey, I need help on that.
Oh, we have a cylinder, some sort of cylinder, that's cool. Yes, you do. Interest for a certain amount of time.
How much time?
No calculator on that either. There is a calculator on the surface area of the cylinder though, so. On the test. Ugh. Ugh. Cold coffee. And burn. Cold and burn. Perfect. Just reminds me of office coffee. That would work. Anyway, there was another question?
Yeah, I need help on 24.
24.
It's one of the that problems.
Ah, okay. Use your formula.
I equals PRT,
Yes.
and then it'd be I equals 1,250 times 0.0375. Yeah, 375, and then it'd be times whatever 120 days is. Ain't that 4 over 12, which would be 1/3? So 120 divided by 30.
Okay, so 120 days, how many months?
It'd be 4 months. 4 months, yeah. That's what I was
Unit
saying.
of fraction.
That'd be easy.
4 over 20, oh, 4 over 12 is
Yeah.
1/3.
1/3. So,
So 0.33.
right. Well, I would honestly use 1/3.
What? No, 1/3 is 420 days. No.
They didn't, but I sure would have, I think. 120 days, hang on. Or, yeah, so 1250 times,
So then it'd be
start like this, okay, so 1250 times your 0.0375, start that way, and then I would just divide the whole shebang by 3, honestly.
Divide it by 3.
That's
I times it by 3.
Would it just? It'd
about
be.
1/3, I hope.
It'd
Well,
be.
I-
Multiply it by 3, you have it wrong.
I did the,
So the answer.
Maybe we did divide by,
Listen, man, I
the
came out
answer-
with for the interest. I came out with $15.63.
I came out with 15.
I went,
27
no.
46.875 over 1 times 1 over 3.
The way you just did that though just confused
Yes.
me to no end. I
Yeah, that
really did.
works. So you just divided by 3.
I didn't divide it times, but
You multiply by 1/3.
yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. So you said you had 40 what? Over 1? Or
I'm starting to be lost. 46.8750.
46 point? 46, yeah, 46.75. All right, so here's the thing. When you multiply by 1/3, this is the thing you have to watch. This is a multiplication symbol, not an equal symbol. If it's an equals, then you multiply and divide.
And then I went the 46.875 times 3.
No. I'm afraid not, you can't do that.
I think it's right.
It's unfortunately not correct. So what the problem is here is this is the interest for a whole year. All right. So
Well,
the
my
number
answer made sense too.
I doubt it. What's your answer? What you're going to wind up with is the interest for 3 full years. Which, because you multiply it by 3. This is the interest for 1 year. That's what you found up here with 1250 times 0.375 times 1. That would be 1 year, right? So this is times 1 year. You have to divide it by 3 to get a third of a year, or multiply by 1/3, or
So it'd be $15.63.
yes, that's correct. But no, if you have this multiplication symbol, Leah, you have to watch this. If it's a multiplication symbol, you have to divide. I mean, you have to divide by 3. That's not an equal sign. If it's an equal sign, it's a whole different operation than if it's a division sign. I mean, if it's a multiplication sign. It's very, very important. Also, Cody, you have to remember that ownership. You might want to work on that. Yes.
Do we have to get in because all the lucky targets
It's not funny.
No, it's not. It's well written, 220. I feel like I backed down on my numbers more than I should. But I hate it when people write useless fluff too, so there's that.
So when you go minus y, well, everything's gonna be 1y plus y minus y, or negative y plus y.
Negative 1 plus y.
That would be,
We cancel out.
so we just,
Nothing else.
so we x plus 2.
Yes. Oh, good honk. We're over 27. Everybody doing well? What is it? 27?
Not there yet.
Not there yet?
Yeah, I got it done.
Which one?
The $12,000 to buy a new car.
Yeah.
That one's easy.
I got 11.
Oh, that's just simple subtraction. I thought there was some percentages going on there. Never mind, I won't help you with that. answer. For algebra, I do want your I do want some grades from you.
What do you need to score?
214.
214?
Yes.
Mr. Pittman, do you know how many words they used? They only had 140.
Okay. There's some negatives mostly. Receipt, those are ones.
So what?
Mostly negatives, you guys are talking about.
This one right here was supposed to be positive 2. The 6 minus 4 is 2.
Not negative. I messed that one up. And
Well, I actually didn't get that one wrong.
no, it wasn't. It was just negatives. Honestly, and that y, there's a 3y and a 4y, and you cancel. One too many out. Little details, unfortunately. Alright, it's time for recess. Where are we at? Richard? I think so. Say what?
Recess yet?
Yeah, just now.
You haven't keeping that for a second.
No. I left it on the counter this morning. Hey, Miss Amy has one. I got one for you. Alright.
I 16 was in the first sentence.
141.
Actually, it would be some,
No, wait. Yeah, unfinished. I have that, but I don't, I mean, like, if he lets me be on, I could have finished making a lot of this. I did some revising, I don't. Give it your all, give it your best, and if there's something in your face.
I feel like I went and stomped in the pond for a while.
Mine don't actually.
Mine
They're
are
wet, but
so
not
big.
extremely wet. I need my new shoes to hurry up and come. Absolutely 100% sick of these.
Oh man, that's so bad.
I'm just horrible.
It's like a black mark on my volleyball career.
Volleyball is fun when it's actually, when you actually can play right. That wasn't fun.
What's this here?
Just Bible.
Should be touch.
I hate Bible reading. Let's just go with it. You hate all school work. Yeah, that's what I hate. What in the world?
What in the Sam Hill?
I need to go for the 27.
You?
Yeah,
What's 27?
something with your car. He said, do that.
So, see,
Well-
she just figures. This is an addition and subtraction problem.
But like, you add all these little numbers together.
And you figure out the most that she can actually pay for the car. With that number in mind.
Oh,
The list price before all the scalping that goes on.
Yeah, but so you're supposed to go add all these numbers together, which is
Mr. Ken,
Yes.
can I take my language or my reading or whatever it is into the laundry room and do it in there so I can stick my socks in the dryer?
You got that wet?
Yeah, they're really bad.
You could hold off while we check Bible.
yeah, I still don't get this problem. So all the fees come out to $699.50. And then so what is the most, so all you do is just go 12,000 plus that, right? Or minus that.
Yeah, so she's looking for the list price that she's gonna look for, and that's the absolute max that she can pay.
So you go 12,000 minus.
So what?
Is it charging you?
Yes, it is.
We don't have any Bible to check.
No Bible check. We checked it already.
We do
No
it
Bible
with
check.
Oh, that's correct. That would make sense now, wouldn't it? A little less than 60 and 1 2. Okay, cool. Yeah, I suppose. Well, it probably won't take that long, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Take the Bible with you and take care of your problem. I hate it when that happens.
I hate it worse, especially when it happens to me.
One of my sisters was so strange that if she'd get 1 foot wet, it just bothered her so bad to have one wet and the other one dry that she would literally go step in the puddle with the other foot. She did this for years.
Why?
Well, I hate when one shoe's
That's
tied
not
tighter than the
fine.
other. That makes me.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
Okay, but like, it bothers me, but it doesn't bother me so badly.
It bothers me badly enough that I have to tie my shoe.
Yeah.
I'm saying the wet foot thing.
Oh,
The shoe tiage, yeah, like, for sure. Like, they need to feel the same. But not so badly that I would go get the other foot wet. That's silly.
You should just dry the other one.
Well,
Well, if I clap in one hand, it's done more than the other.
That-
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I go like this and like when you do something with your fingers, one finger feels just one out in the other one.
when you smack a volleyball with one hand more than the other, that's what my hands are going through right now.
When you
to drive the one leg, you have to get the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about being
Fair.
I just never figured.
It's like when I walk my knees or whatever.
Some
like,
of us
I
never
walk
figured
the other
those
way,
actually.
and it just makes me weird.
Mr. King.
Yes.
So if you have, so say Jefferson County, like you capitalize the county.
How, yeah, yes, generally speaking.
That was kind of an answer, but not really an answer. Man, like a minute ago, this sun was not on me.
That's the nature of the sun as it moves.
I know, but it moves that moves really fast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can actually time it. Here, there's a piece of chalk.
Is that kind of how we got the sundial going?
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, you could actually kind of make a sundial. You could say that this mark right here is 11 o'clock.
Okay. And then we'll just see how far that moves or what?
Mm-hmm.
And then mark it again.
Let's mark it again at 11:50. Right now it's 11.
It's 11 o'clock.
Like, look at that. See that? You're already moved about a quarter of an inch.
Yeah, that is really fast. Man, by 11 o'clock, it's going to be like,
It'll be over here somewhere. And by 11:30, it'll be easily 3 feet.
What way is it moving?
It's gonna move. The sun is moving that way.
What way is that?
Because it sets over there and
Yeah, so what way is that shadow that way?
Hmm?
The right?
Yeah, the light moves that way. So this shadow moves that way. Of course, that's providing if there's no clouds up covering it at 11:30.
Do you have time to look up and try to find a very hard question?
Which one's that?
It says English, the most widely spoken language in the world, began with small island. What island did it begin?
Great Britain.
That's not a small island.
You compare it to the United States or Madagascar or
I know.
Greenland or Australia or.
It's still a small
But
island.
for how widely spoken,
It's big, or what?
like you can pretty much go anywhere and find people that speak English. It's not like you're speaking Ukrainian. Like if you're Ukrainian, you almost have to find another language to speak in order to actually travel very far. Russian is the same way, which is strange because like the Russian language is way easier than Chinese or American or English. But English and Chinese are the most widely spoken languages. English and Chinese are the hardest languages, generally speaking. I think there's a few African dialects that are kind of harder. Check that out. It's been 3 minutes.
It's gonna be like over by Thursday by 11:30.
How many minutes?
3 minutes.
Oh, that.
Never even noticed it. Until it's like 11:30 when we're here anyway.
Yeah.
I noticed it before like that, like when you're sitting in the woods, like I'm kind of like, you notice that, I never noticed that before. That's weird though, like it was. You kind of cool to time lapse it. And then, like shadow.
Time lapse, isn't that when you like,
It's like really fast.
it's like goes really fast, so it would be like.
There should be somewhere to slow it down, because that's kind of fast.
You're definitely able to see it. You can almost see it moving. Just
Because that line so you can.
That is so cool. Why did I never learn the scissors? Chris, can I use your scissors? Should I disappear at the beginning of the school year or something? Spend. Just a minute, it's already moved faster. Like,
that line was completely in the shadow when I drew it.
he just drew it like 5 seconds ago.
It was 15.
You can make a little clock. We're gonna have to move your desk.
Just about, yeah.
Actually, you won't be able to because it's gonna get dark. Then you won't see the shadow.
Yeah.
Then you just have to
guess.
Then you just measure from there and you just.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
That's wild. Of course, it helps that it's so far from the window. closer, if it would be closer to it, it would actually, it wouldn't look like it was moving so fast, because that shadow is so long.
No, it moved. It just moved.
Yeah.
Like, it's still moving. If you watch it, it actually, your eyes do funny things.
What's gonna be really interesting is just to look at it tomorrow, because we timed that exactly at 11 o'clock.
Will it be different tomorrow? Yeah, here.
It's wrong. That's cool.
It should be, cause like it's like.
Well,
usually
it'll
like
be
a
right
little
here
shorter
again.
day or something.
In a year, will it rain, doesn't say we'll come back for
Twice a year.
We'll just leave it there and see if it does.
When?
Should permanently burn it in.
Just burn it into the carpet.
Dude, you're too fast when you're looking at stuff. I wish I could go that fast and get better grades.
Well,
already
There's
getting
no
better
reason,
grades.
there's no reason to push yourself for the speed. The grades are much more important.
Mr. Kent's Bible, I had a bit done because I was working on it and I didn't have a clue.
That's right, I forgot about that.
getting my T's and my R's.
You should make another mark now. It's 5 minutes.
Back. Didn't line it up correctly.
It's still not quite.
We'll worry about that later.
Hey, Mr. Kent, I need help.
Okay.
What do you need help on?
I'm number 18 in English. Oh, it's like the Rocky Mountains or whatever in Missouri or whatever. Does it want Render Mountains capitalized or does it want Rocky Missouri?
You want me to give you a number?
Huh?
You want me to give you a number in 18 and 19?
Yeah, I don't know.
13.
13 for like both of them together. I don't know if it is.
90 is considered bad.
Yeah, probably bad. I was not a super ambitious student.
Well, then you had all that work too.
Huh?
Well, you had all that work.
We had all the work as well, and there was also like individualized. We didn't have class time.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
Like, so for some stuff I don't need class, but other stuff I
Like Bible, for instance.
Yeah, like,
Very similar to how we do Bible, except we didn't check it. I had to check it on as well, and do all the corrections on everything. So the corrections, like I had to go back and correct everything.
yeah. Did people drop out a lot?
No. We weren't allowed to drop it.
Why not?
I don't know. Just the way it was.
Like if you drop out the church.
I'm not sure what would happen, because nobody did.
You can just.
Yeah,
It was one of those situations where nobody even bothered to worry about what would happen if you did.
I would have just been sick. Oh, I guess if that's all I knew, but.
Well, basically what happened, what the result was, is that we just pushed like mad to get done early. Like that's why I stayed up until all hours of the morning doing homework. Is because I wanted to get done so I could get out of school.
So did you guys not all get out in time?
Well, I quit going to school in the middle of the year, because I ran out of work.
That sounds fun. Well, I don't know. The best part of school is in the.
In the spring, yeah.
Yeah.
But so what I did is I got done so I could go to Bible school. I was 17.
I have the best part of spring.
I got done so I could go to Bible school in January. So Christmas vacation, like I was done at Christmas vacation.
And you did a whole year's worth of work.
I did 2 years in a year and a half, which isn't actually that hard, unless you're coming of course you're doing six subjects as well. So I did.
Were you allowed to just not do a subject?
Well, I was shooting for a certain diploma where I had to get a certain amount of credits. So that means I had to complete a certain amount of credits in order to do that. Life is better?
Still wet, but
Taking that.
better.
Well, when
It's a warm wet.
okay, it's getting close to 5 minutes.
Yes, it is. Isn't that crazy?
So,
What? Is it my imagination or are the marks getting thinner?
They are, yeah. You measure them.
Oh, every 5 minutes you move.
the sun's moving. And we're trying to move it.
So I guess we're spinning too, but
The Earth's spinning. off the sun.
Okay. Is that chalk gonna come off your phone?
yeah.
Okay.
So chalk is what you use chalk, not marker.
Then we have a permanent little clock.
All right. Lesson 12. Quotation marks. We're going to check. When do you use quotation marks and where do you use them?
Which lesson?
Lesson 12.
You should have said that. There's penmanship today.
Yes, there is. All right. I need some punctuation and quotation marks and whatnot.
Around.
So the first one doesn't have any. The second sentence.
Mr. Cat, that happened involves you complaining. Yes, then we'll build characters.
That sounds like counting on.
I know.
There's
Whenever
one-
you go to character, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
He stole his dad's glasses and his And the dad went to mom and was like, hey, have you seen my glasses anywhere? And then Calvin walks up and he has his glasses on and his hair is all slicked over. And he says, and he tells the dad, go, Calvin, go do something you hate. Being miserable builds character.
All right, so I need quotation marks and some punctuation on this
Well,
sentence.
you get comments around slowly and carefully.
No, actually,
Yes, Leah will build a character, there's a period after character.
period after here,
Yeah,
No.
and, comma right there.
comma.
And a comma after ball.
After ball is correct.
She balled.
All right,
And then a period after complain
Period
and
after
after
complain.
Mr. Kent.
and after Mr. Kent.
Or Mr. Cute or whatever.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a mystery who he is. Okay,
We don't have to yeah.
and
Punch across the pond.
I like the.
Is there a comma between yes and Leah?
Yes, there is.
Yes, Leon. It will build character.
So there's quotation
Why
marks
can't I
from
ever
yes
build
and.
It also will get me pneumonia. It won't be my fault when I
Yes.
die.
Inside or outside of this?
Outside.
Outside of it. All right.
And then around quotation marks around Mr. and ball.
Mr. DeBall. Yes.
Then we've got Mr.
Mr. Ball.
Kid or something up there.
All right. There's one more comma I'm looking for. Oh, and actually, there's something else that's kind of wrongish.
That slowly and carefully build.
No, slowly and carefully. No, there's nothing to do with there. That's
Is there
correct.
one after the top?
After Leah?
After Leah, there's another one because this is something called a noun or direct address, which is something we're going to talk about
Yes,
today.
Leah. Will build character.
All right. There's something else that I want.
Is it like a word that you missed out?
No.
You have to capitalize, dude.
No.
Yeah, capitalize. She.
No.
Man.
It's punctuation. It's not capitalization. It's not word spelling. It's just simple punctuation.
Can you tell us what kind of thing?
Question.
That deal after complete.
Oh, yeah,
Right after
duh.
ball.
After ball, yes, this should be a question mark rather than a comma. And your quotation marks are still outside of that. All right.
Mr. Prince is so much better.
Good grief. I have to assign somebody else to be doing the marking on
Time
the
just
board.
fly by. so
Time
quick.
flies when you're having fun. Where's my mark on?
Oh no, we're scared to go.
Where'd it go? I'm gonna have to scratch it in with my
Go, go, go,
Finger.
go, go, hurry up, hurry up.
Oh no, oh no.
Is it 5 minutes? Is it 5 minutes? Yes, it is.
Okay.
That'd be normal. Busted! Busted again. Alright. So, let us check lesson 12. 1 is A. 2 is B. 3 is B. 4A. 5A.
What was three?
3 was B. 6. How did you rewrite this? Richard.
These students will recite, I am my neighbor's Bible. Todd, Daryl, and Peter.
What did you change?
Nothing except for that lousy little colon, which you could have just X'd out and put there, but they made us rewrite the whole stinking sentence.
Aren't you glad?
Some of my pet peeves.
Bill's character.
That's how they.
Okay, that.
Go do something you hate.
That would be writing penmanship or yeah,
Perfect.
doing
Bill's
a
character.
reading lesson.
So yes, that colon needs to be on the other side of the quotation mark. If you had that wrong, unfortunately, you had that wrong. 7. What do you have, Leah? What did you change?
I changed the semicolon.
The semicolon. Where did you put it?
You
On
also.
the outside
Of
of
the
the
quotation marks. Perfect. What about number 8, Cody?
I put quotation marks outside of the question mark.
Yes, because how did Liberia become established is the question. All right, number 9. Cami.
Carmi.
Carmi.
Quite the name.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Carmen.
Is the subject. Sister is in a positive in parentheses on the subject line.
Can I quick write something before you keep talking?
How fast are you going to?
I just need to write a line
Better-
between the subject and the
You
verb.
have like 4 seconds.
Done.
Okay.
I think.
The verbs are reached and touched, which we did in class kind of ish. Then underneath reached, you should have out shyly, and underneath touched. Well, no, my bad. Then is direct object after touched, which is doll, and the is under doll. The clause is I that I held. So I is the subject, held is the verb, that is a direct object. Number 10. The subjects are Alan and friends.
His goes in the thing.
His was under friends. Verb is played. And then you have hard under played and very underneath that. I'm not even bidding on anything on eBay. Oh, this
Yeah,
is notifications.
Yeah, I did that on number 9. I did
Huh?
that one deal on number 9.
You did that deal on number 9? You
Yeah.
should not have. That was for out shyly you did that?
Yeah.
So that would be one wrong, I guess one word would be out of place. And then softball is a direct object after play.
What was he, Christopher saying?
He was saying that he did like out shyly. It's supposed to be out shyly,
Okay, I got that wrong too.
I guess.
Is it, how many points? is it?
Shyly reached, shyly, because we do shyly reached and reached out.
How many
It's one point
per
per
word?
11. 6 needs to be written out. 12, good needs to be well. 13, real needs to be really. 14, your clause is which was painted last year, and your relative pronoun is which. 15, I was talking to is your clause, and whom is an understood
I have that.
relative pronoun. Man, that was not good. I'm fine with that.
So, I feel
It's
like,
either whom or that. That's the only one's possible.
how many points for, like, when I was talking to, I was talking to it is for maybe a,
So you just misplaced the
I
last
have
one.
who I was talking to.
is that half or?
That'll be a half, yes.
I have who.
Yeah, that's good. That's what it's supposed to be. 16. The clause is everyone's talking about, and understood is that. 17. B is circle. 18. I'll do the capitalization first and the quotations next. So capitalization down to where you start saying it is a spirit. It is capitalized.
Come on, this is so.
And the one before, that's when the disciples
Are
saw
these
it.
have to
I
be-
capitalized the disciples because I had 13 things capitalized. He was nothing else.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so now,
Are they one wrong?
in the next, yeah, they're half a piece, the capitalization. Then it goes down to be of good cheer. So be is capitalized, and it is I is capitalized. Lord, you, and come.
That's a pronoun.
Yes, but it's referring to Jesus, to God, it says capitalized.
I almost missed it.
I did miss them, that's my,
Yeah, and then down the bottom, page 40, it's come, is the last one on that page. Top of page 41. The beginning of the sentence, but. And then when, so after the first sentence, then you get the second one, but when he noticed, but is capitalized. And then Lord save me, Lord is capitalized. And then, next paragraph, Jesus starts talking to Peter. He says, "Oh, you have little faith." O is capitalized. Y is capitalized. Next paragraph, down at the end, where Jesus says, "In the truth you are the Son of God." Of is capitalized. U is capitalized. Son and O is capitalized.
that's
All right, now the quotations. And here again, it's half point for each side of the quotation. So it is a spirit is in quotation marks. Then be of good cheer as I be not afraid. That whole thing is in capitalized. It is in quotation marks. Then when Peter says, Lord, Lord, if it is you, and then the whole way to water, and then around to come. Top of page 41. When Peter says, Lord, save me, it's in quotations. And when Jesus says, oh, you have little faith, why did you doubt? That's in quotations. And the last one, of a truth, you are the Son of God.
And when he was afraid and beginning to sink, he is that one circle.
He cried out. Also, it's Peter crying out.
So
So that one's not circled. He cried out. All right, 19. Transitive and intransitive. 20. Direct object and subject.
Hey, so technically for 19, I have an active verb as a receiver for the action, a passive verb as a not.
I have subject and object
be
switched
wrong.
around.
That is also.
Is that a point for blank?
Yes, those are point verb. 21. VT. Keeps is the verb and book is the direct object. 22. VI. Cheered is underlined. 23. VT. Manuscript is circled. Was decorated is underlined.
And so, what was 20 again?
Direct object, subject.
Okay.
I have everything right except I underline always keeps and cheered wildly.
Hey, so,
Wildly is definitely an adverb. Always is definitely an adverb. 23.
Yeah, I missed, well, I thought it was intransitive and I underlined was decorated. How many wrong was that? Like I didn't circle.
You didn't circle anything because that was intransitive.
yeah, how many, if you get anything wrong in there, how many wrong is it?
I was counting with a point piece.
So that would be
A point for
three
a point.
wrong.
Okay, it was decorated underlined, so it was only 2 wrong. So you got a verb translated wrong and manuscript not circled. 2. 24. Circle. His, his.
Ooh, I skipped that part.
25. Circle mine and mine. 26.
So how many was that in there?
There's 5 points to those points. Or what? So you don't know which point.
So
26.
So
26
how do you feel about that in my life before? It was a lot worse ones.
is personification. 27 metaphor. 28 hyperbole. 29 simile.
You didn't give me a grade for mine.
I did not yet. I will.
What about this?
Do we have to check the spelling?
Or the
Just
spelling.
audio switch one.
We'll just roll it. 31, Albuquerque and Baltimore. 32, Pittsburgh. 33, Chicago. 34, San Francisco and Philadelphia. 36, Niagara. 37, Elkhart. 38, Kalamazoo. 39, Hannibal. 40, Los Angeles. 41, Chattanooga. 42, El Paso. 43, Omaha. 44, Savannah. 45, Cincinnati. 46, Las Vegas. 47, Milwaukee. 48, Pensacola. 49, Minneapolis. 49.
Got 100 wrong.
I got it. I didn't care for it.
Like 65.
Let's see, I got
I bet I got,
95 wrong.
I bet I got the most.
95 wrong. I'm wrong. I got 200 wrong.
Mr. Kent, it's been way past.
Yeah, but there's
There's been no light.
Sorry.
It's all second
I should
up
go
here.
buy
It's gonna be
that.
like on that desk.
So there are 100 points. They are worth 1 piece.
So 9.5.
I got 900.
91 is correct. Let me get you this real quick.
Oh. Okay.
Spelling machine.
grade us on our spelling?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wish I would have known that.
Well, it's penmanship. You're supposed to get it right there.
Oh, I got my penmanship right.
Oh, that's a long one. I'll give you 3 out of 3.
And then you can turn on.
All right. Perfect.
Whoa.
So what?
I was just looking at that first diagram.
Oh, I see. That is interesting. Okay. So firstly, what they're doing here is nouns of direct address, which we did already. The thing about nouns of direct address is they are set off from the sentence by commas, which we already experimented with when we were talking about Leah sloshing across the pond, which she didn't, but well. Anyway, so here.
Close enough.
Close, but no cigar. So here we have Leah as a noun of direct address, so she gets commas, fore and aft. And here we have Mr. Kent as a noun of direct address, so he gets a comma aft. Good morning, Richard.
It's morning.
Yeah. Well, I just thought I'd try to get your attention. All right, so that's firstly what happens. So like for number 1, Leah, where's your noun of direct address?
I'm not on through that. I don't know.
There's the sun.
You have until next Thursday, class. Okay, so where we at? Well, we've got to wait a little bit until it's even 5 minutes.
The clouds gonna cover
Hold it. So how long was it since that last one?
Good.
that.
It was
Friday
like-
in there.
15 minutes.
It's 15 minutes since the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah. So wait till even 5 minutes. Wow, that's wild. Okay.
Did you just skip language class?
No.
You just watch the sun.
Yeah.
There's the dandelion.
It's way more
I
interesting.
love doing this with somebody.
There's a lot of clouds out there.
There are a lot. That's just going to mess us up in the end. But see, the thing is, once we get this done, we can actually predict it fairly accurately what's going to go on through the rest of the day. All right, Leah.
What? You.
I said, so no, you have until next Thursday, class, to complete your
Class.
projects with science fair. What makes you think that?
Because she's directing the person?
She's directly talking to the person, same as I'm directly talking to you, Leah.
So you underline the noun of that.
You underline the noun of direct address and you add a comma, fore and aft. Fore and aft. I think it's funny they use the last part of before and the first part of aft, which is just
It's basically
ridiculous.
5 minutes.
We're ready.
One more minute in order to be accurate.
Not quite.
Come on!
It's going out.
No.
I'm gonna predict it.
It went out all the way.
Okay,
Not
hang on,
quite.
where are we at?
Get out of the way.
I can't see where it is.
The light.
Anyway, here. Yeah, try the light.
Try it.
No, that doesn't. Oh, maybe it does. Look right here.
No.
No, I don't think.
It's way over by the
I'm
shadow.
seeing it right here.
No.
I'm pretty sure it's like right.
Oh, yes, right
there. Yeah. Yeah, there.
Move Leah's desk, maybe.
This? I think Leah's desk is in the way.
Well,
Yeah,
move my
Your
desk.
desk is interfering with our experiment.
Better get your
Oh,
tray.
there we go.
Oh, okay, there we go. Perfect. Perfect.
So it'd be a little bit back because it's over 5 minutes now.
Is it?
A little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
So
a shade.
there's.
We want to
Right
be
there. It'll be accurate, scientifically accurate.
But then you have to put like 3 more in here.
I think we'll be able to estimate those. So this one was 11 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Yeah, very scientific.
Just write it
This is
out.
a fun language class.
This one's funny.
I had like literally. Ow.
I found it on.
Okay,
This one's easier one too.
good
Can I
enough.
move my desk back?
Yes, move your desk.
Oh.
That might be as far as we can take that experiment today. We'll see. Oh, maybe later on in the day we can actually see it too, but
That one.
once it gets past
It'll be
there, it'll actually start changing our our data will change because
All the
of
guesses.
this right here. This is going to get in our way, and it's going to throw our data off. Because we're taking, right now, we're taking a reading from the outside edge of that thing. So once it gets past there, it'll start to change.
That's bad.
I suppose we could compensate for it.
Or we could use that window. That would be complicated. I don't want to do that.
I'm just saying we could compensate for it geometrically.
That's math, skip it.
Yeah, like you said.
Is,
I've been learning
how
lots of
is
interesting
that?
things about math and geometry just in the last few
Hey,
days.
Mr. Kent, I don't get it. Why is it going that way when this one is going that way?
Looks like this.
You should do that.
It's like this, okay? So, the sun is coming from you, right?
No.
So you're going to start moving this way. Because that's what the sun is doing, is it's moving across the sky this way, right? So I'm going to move this sideways because you don't do it, you see, strange as hell. So you'll see though, like how the angle changes. Like as you're looking past it here, the angle's like this, and as you go as farther this way, the angle shoots this way.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying?
I guess.
So that's what's going on.
Richard has just like example.
All right.
And there, that's
Back to language.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2. What's a non-direct address?
Your Honor.
Your Honor, yes. And the commas are
Is your
Yeah.
included in there?
yes, because that is part of the noun of direct
It
address.
wouldn't be for it.
It is
No. Or speak.
after no and after honor. No, Your Honor.
No. No.
Sick, more emphasis. That's the thing about language. Put the emphasis on the wrong syllable sometimes. All right. 3. Yeah, Chris.
It's boys and you only need a comma for.
Yes, only 4. Correct.
Huh?
You only need a comma after hour.
Oh.
And boys is underlined because there's already a comma after boys. It's in the quotation.
So in
We
number
can have
4,
double
would you
comma.
underline for Brandon and Scott?
Brandon and Scott both get underlined, which was going to be Richard's little problem to deal with.
Hey.
He and the
Okay.
But where is the comma in that situation? Code on to Richard.
All rats. After
Open your
Scott.
mouth like normal. Yes, after Scott. All right. So the thing is, whenever you have a compound noun of direct address, well, basically, noun of direct address is just simply go on the line on their own above the subject, off to the left, right? Mr. Willers, for example.
Mr. Gun.
In number 5, what's the noun of direct address there?
Brothers and sisters.
Right, so what you're going to do in this situation is you're going to diagram the sentence normally, and then you're going to put brothers on this line.
Where?
So both 5 and 6 would have you and
You're going to have brothers, and then you're going to have sisters. You know how
So yeah, you would have.
because and is a conjunction simply joining the 2 nouns of direct address. So because conjunctions get that trick with the dotted line, you put a conjunction between the 2 lines. It's actually logical. Makes
And
sense.
both of them begin understood you.
No.
Brothers and sisters is the same.
Is it an understood you?
In 5 it is, yes.
What about 6?
Number 6, no. So you know how so interrogative sentences you have to switch them around in order to actually make them make sense, right? So like if I was to say, how is your mother, Cody? Right? So the way you would switch that around, you'd say mother is how, right? So the mother is the subject in that situation, is a verb, and how is, well, that's an adjective. I mean a predicate adjective. In this situation, it's the same way. Occupation is the subject, is the verb, and what is a predicate adjective.
Your
Slanty line.
I don't get
occupation
that.
is what?
Occupation is what? Yes. So you go like this. Occupation here. Is your verb, and what is is a predicate adjective. What goes under occupation?
Your.
Yes. Adjective describing occupation. Does that not make sense?
That is weird. And then like the.
It is kind of odd, but that's how
What
interrogative
is a
sentences
predicate
are.
nominative?
Predicate nominative?
Yeah, PM, predicate adjective.
Predicate adjective. Let's call this predicate adjective, I guess, but I don't think what is a noun.
Okay, then, where does Mr. Willers go?
Mr.
Well,
Willers,
I'll keep
because it's a
Yeah.
noun of direct address, it goes about here. Mr. Willers. Boink.
In number 5, do you write
What happens when
and
you
on the
have-
dotted line?
What
Yes,
happens
that's
when you
what
have
I'm
an, what would happen if you had an interjection and a noun of direct address?
Then I think the interjection goes above the noun of direct address. Pretty sure. Oh, brothers and sisters, help me understand. Where did my computer eraser? I remember trying to make somebody earlier.
Probably Chris, because he wasn't.
You missed
Yeah.
another 5 minutes.
Probably Chris because he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I think our experiment's over until it gets maybe to here. But at that point, we'll be out of recess. Where's the tape measure?
Yeah, start from checking.
All right,
All the way out of my lesson.
Let's talk to the subject verb, talk about the subject verb agreement.
Yeah, I mean, you're Richard. We have to talk about this other period.
Before we go on.
I'll teach you that.
Basically, the thing that they're trying to say in this situation is when you have like a course, like a study, like mathematics, for instance. Mathematics is a singular noun, right? Mathematics is amazing. It is. All right, so you say mathematics. So when you have these ICS things, it can throw you off because it sounds like they're ending in S. So it sounds like they're plural, but they're not. This is singular. All right, so you can also have physics.
You have politics.
You can have politics. You can have
Statistics.
You can have logistics. And then you can
Phonics.
have phonics.
Hypocrites.
not actually.
That one's actually plural, isn't it?
That's right, hypocrites.
Because that's
So these are all singulars, you're saying?
Yes, these are all singular when they're used as a course. So just use that to
What?
now. Hang on. When they're used as a course or a study, they're singular. When they're used as the name, as like qualities or something like that, then they're plural, right? So if I say, like I can say, so I'm going to go study physics, right? Physics is amazing. Like the study of physics is amazing because that's singular is. But if I would say the physics of this aren't working out.
Okay, let's say that politics.
All right, so this is the deal. So the politics also aren't working out. You can tell by looking at the country, right? But see, whenever you're using it in this situation, when it's not a course or a study, here the physics aren't agreeing with whatever it is you're doing, right? So the physics aren't working out, then it's not a course, it's not a study that you're taking in school,
Let's
so
say-
therefore it's plural.
So then,
That's
let's
the
say,
main difference.
let's say that politics is your favorite subject, topic. Is or aren't?
So politics as a subject is. Politics is. I'm not even sorry for giving you this information. All right? Politics is our neighbor's favorite topic. All right?
It's literally
Okay,
our
so but
answer.
in number
Wait,
9, I understand. In number 9, it says the various statistics in this report
So
are.
that A
The
is
statistics are, this is not a course or a study, so statistics are convincing. That's
So-
plural.
so then
In number 9,
logistics
we have to
are?
agree with this.
Yeah.
Statistics
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, that's
And
what I
And
had.
then politics is,
Yeah, that's what politics
Yes.
is.
and then logistics
Seven
are.
is-
So in number 11, because that's a course that you're teaching, statistics is singular, is. Statistics
Okay, then-
is. That's what's going on there. So you have to read between the lines.
What are phonics?
Phonics,
Yeah.
Fine.
it's
That's what you learned in
it's
first
what
grade.
you learn in first grade, essentially.
Oh.
I'm getting
All right.
it.
I'm a pro at it.
I will give you spelling words later. Those are coming up. We're going to do a massive test on Monday. We're not going to do a spelling word test on tomorrow, but on Monday, we will.
Which can I understand?
Chrissy, you can do that and then put the picture in the middle.
Yeah.
Is that, that's cool. You're just making it donuts, the whole thing?
No, well, that's kind of interesting, I know. Whoa, yeah, that's what we need.
Cute as a bug's ear.
If you're,
It's only
if
slightly
it's like
smaller.
tiny like that, then you could wrap it around the pictures.
Yeah.
And if it is squashed like that, people will be able to tell.
I
what
use my
it
own
is,
so I can mark on it.
because there's really a picture of it, so it won't be.
People.
Shows where it's at.
That's cool.
See, I can have you for English.
I'm reserved.
So what?
I thought you have to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh. So we can check and talk about variety in sentence types and revise that in character sketches and all that and all. They really go all out on the writing here. Writing.
Oh.
They're all about writing. Weird.
Are they in the
Being an
notes
English
book
book.
there?
Oh, I haven't looked at the next book yet. I'll look at it later. Alright. What's the transitive verb?
A verb has a direct.
Yeah, it has, yeah. That shows action as a direct object. Intransitive verb, therefore, would not. But it would show action, so it's still an action verb, but it doesn't have a direct object. Good deal. What's an objective complement, Chrissy?
It's a thing, a word that describes a direct object.
Yes. It follows the direct object and renames or describes it. What's the difference between that and an adjective?
No, I don't know. It's just different. You just,
No difference between that and an adjective. You want to talk about that? Basically, obviously, first of all,
One of them,
and an adjective can't rename a subject.
adjective, does the subject. Describes the subject.
Well, yeah, well, you can have an adjective for a direct object as well.
You can?
Yeah. Basically, generally speaking, it's when it actually sort of renames it. So like, without really describing it. So like if there was a, you know, like how in a normal sentence, if you have a predicate nominative, that is not an adjective because it is renaming that subject. So if you rename the direct object, which is another subject, or another, I guess, another noun in a sentence, that would be an objective complement rather than adjective. All right, we did 1 through 5 in class. I want to hear what you have for number 7, Chrissy.
Carol Phillip is an interesting.
Say what? Number 7?
Yeah, I can read it, but it's not what it says. Carol Phillip is an interesting word. I think I'm that person. But that's like really annoying.
Yeah, it is. What do you have for 8?
We don't want to all think the baby know because it was meta.
President of what?
A meta. Not a meta, like London.
Yeah. But yeah, the
8 is 7 just wrong.
7 I think is wrong. What do you have for 6?
It is so much.
I have to think through 8 a little bit too.
Transitive or
What's your
direct
transitive?
object and
Direct object. I was trying to sort out the direct object objective complement. So you have the direct object,
No, I just have Daisy Melder, that's one person, president.
Is president.
Yeah. No, just president, but
Somebody named Daisy Mildred.
Made Daisy Milton, oh, they made
Yeah.
Daisy Milton president, okay. That's what I was struggling with there. I thought I heard it is in there, and I was like, yeah. All right, what do you have for 7, Brucey?
Thomas Franklin.
Okay. And what about for 8?
Thomas Middleton.
All right, I will. Put handers in. I wrote the handbooks in today, so get some grades off, and then I'll file up for tomorrow. Number 12, quotation marks around from O to universe, and then after answer you'll have, you want to know too much, little on yours, implications. Then new ones, well, dear Mr. Creator, what was man made for? That's implications, and then another one, you were still asking for more than you can handle. Then another one on the next page, page 37. Last question, Mr. Creator, why did you make a change? And that's better. That's another set of quotations. And we're about page 14. All right, variety in sentence types. And revising and editing the character sketch. So, variety of sentence types, obviously, if you build every sentence the same way, your writing gets exceedingly boring. And so you have to change your pattern up. Like if they're all, the same way every time, which is a very easy habit to fall into, because once you start building a sentence one way and it works, then you're like, hey, why don't you just build the next sentence that way? Even subconsciously, right? That's the way your mind would work. Excuse me. So yes, that paragraph contains all linking verbs with predicate nominative and predicate adjectives. So basically, rather than having them all that way, try to change some of them up at least, using a variety of sentence types. So like, using them once in a while isn't wrong. Like you can actually, I guess I never really realized that before I started teaching this course, but you can actually overactivate a sentence. And so here's where you learn how to try to balance that. So don't get it too active, because that gets boring as well. So try to balance it to keep your thoughts.
I doubt the CLA course ever turned out altered size.
No, they did. I don't know at this point.
I
Yeah,
doubt
might be
they ever
coming.
will.
Really
I doubt
don't.
they ever will. This is not a course to take.
It has its discouraging. All right, gentlemen, keep your thoughts to yourselves. All right, so revising and editing the character sketch. We have been doing a lot of revision and editing, so I feel like I don't have to say that much about this. Remember to check for topic sentences and transitions to our thoughts together. Strong action verbs and concrete nouns, a variety of sentence types would be a good thing to look for. Spelling, punctuation, subject to verbs. Basically, I'm going to. How many do they have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to kind of put about 2 points apiece on each one of these. It's kind of going to be rubric, and then the rest of it's going to be on the here. Every character sketch. Let's talk about 15 through 17. What's discovery? What's that? Christie. No. Perfect with
Past.
an ED.
Past, present, progressive.
Not perfect progressive either. No, this happened in the past. Yes, because it was. It happened in the past. So past progressive ends in ing, so it's progressive. That's correct. 16. What do you have? Lucy. Present perfect progressive is correct. It happens in the present. It's perfect. Because how do you know that it's perfect? Well, I guess yeah, that's kind of the right answer. It describes a continuing action that has happening during the present and has been continuing, has been or have been. What you're looking for present perfect progressive, so that's correct. All right, what about 17, Christine?
Future perfect progressive.
How do you know?
Do you want the technical explanation? It's like
Tell me how.
4 words.
It's the longest one, so it's future perfect progressive. Okay, well that kind of works.
Now the will.
Why is it progressive?
The
First of all?
will, progressive, it ing,
Yes.
and then the future will be will,
Yes.
and the perfect, I guess.
Have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close enough. Perfect. Number 14. What is the word standardized? What is the word standardized? If just standing alone, I wish to standardize our testing procedure. Yeah.
What did you ask?
It's a verb used as an adjective, so it's a participle.
How do you
Standardized.
diagram?
So
How do you diagram them? I'm like a little.
they get the,
Preposition.
yeah, basically they get standardized, and then you just get ED down here.
The major uncle is definitely Spanish.
Say again.
I just made in front of 13.
Sad-ish. What is sad in that case?
Sad. Direct object. That means the indirect side.
No.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
Do you have any clue what sad would be in 13?
Objective.
Yes, sad is an objective complement. What's the direct object?
Me.
Yes.
Me is sad.
Mm-hmm. Me is sad.
I'm pretty sure that's not right.
Huh. Well,
Me is sad.
that's what we have going on. I wish I was as excited and happy about English as I am about math. But I can't quite pull it off. 3 inches every 5 minutes.
What does that mean?
So that's not actually completely correct, because it's actually an angle of measurement. I mean, a measurement of an angle rather than a measurement of, rather than an actual dimension, rather than an actual measurement of length. But we can figure out by the distance from there where the sun would be at any time. And that holds out. Because here over 20 minutes you move a foot.
So can we figure out where it is right now?
Yeah, we could. So it's an hour later, roughly. An hour and 5 minutes. So it's done. So that's going to be 20 times 3, which is 60 inches. So 63 inches is what we're looking for. So I would say if the sun came out right now, it would be about here-ish.
When are you gonna get rid of that desk?
Oh, I don't know. People keep using it. We'll just leave it here for a stumbling block.
It feels like more complete.
Yeah, just there was a
But
hole.
it's not very complete without somebody sitting
Or
in it.
like it's been filled.
Yeah,
The
there's a
void.
vacancy.
The void is
There's a
like-
hole in it.
It'd
And
be,
it's filled by Mary's,
about
and
half
it's filled by
full
an
right
empty
now.
desk.
You make me do 10?
it'd be more full if someone's actually sitting.
Richard's doing that. He wants it. Yeah,
Intransitive verb. That's kind of ridiculous.
Intransitive? Intransitive verb is still an action verb.
Oh, yeah.
Intransitive is an action, it just doesn't have a receiver.
Friday.
Or direct object.
I still want it to say reading that.
All right. 8th grade. You can spell it. And I'll try to run over the whole list. And also, yeah, because that's what our test is going to be on Monday. At least the words won't start.
Where'd my red marker go?
I stole it. I think I pitched her. I pitched one marker.
Here, there's a red one right here.
Here's a red one.
I got it. There we go. Alright, let's do one. This paper
All right.
don't work. Actually, it does.
When we look at that,
Me.
you just say, sorry, I blew up.
Sorry, blew up.
Sorry, Christopher blew up. Why did I blow up? How did I blow up?
There's a hole in your shoe.
And you're very, very close. No,
There is a page in the bottom of my
there's a hole in my head and I'm wearing dirty clothes.
Look, there's a hole in the bottom of my shirt.
There's a hole on the bottom.
Alright. Altercation. Heroin.
What?
Hospital. Superfluous.
I know.
Because that's what the test is going to be on.
On Monday?
Monday.
There's a hole in the bottom of the seat.
Yes, There's Alright, bachelor.
Shut up, Jesse.
Implied. Dexterous. Memorable.
Maybe she sings it on the one and then Tom sings it on the other.
Memorable.
Memorable. You're supposed to do dexterous, Chris.
Me?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I didn't.
Well, I heard it. I mean, I said it,
You're
so.
bleeding.
Yes.
He's an amphibian or something.
I'm bleeding pretty nervous. I got
What about your own problems?
What?
Alright, infamous. Pathos.
I don't know.
Contrary vehement. Yes, good. Alright. Section 2 next. Aluminium. No, aluminum.
What?
Aluminum.
It is gonna be a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
good. No, it is just aluminum. Transmute. Accumulate. Cube.
What?
I'm giving you all the fun ones. Q.
Q.
Q-U-E.
No, you don't have to write tall, they have to write in as a Q. So you erase that. See? Q.
What? You can, yeah, I know, you can use that totally. And I would know what you mean.
Impudence.
Can you really find a blue marker?
Cuticle.
Color on the whole wall. Just for
We could
We could paint our wall with
And
Should we? Ooh, we can squeeze out all the ink and paint the wall.
Just like this, yeah, we could just paint it with them.
There we go. If I look up.
You gonna help me?
I could do that
and the last section.
People,
Where-
people
where
like
it-
their-
The last section where we have a little fun.
Oh,
No, like I just took like a knife and just cut it back.
Albuquerque.
And inside there's like a
Baltimore.
big foam thing on it.
Hannibal.
Like,
Cincinnati.
Hannibal.
Hannibal.
No, mine's
10 years of Baltimore, and you need to capitalize that. And also it's BAL.
That's what I had.
Albuquerque.
What the?
Hand it, hang on a second. Hand it,
Amazon was word.
hand it,
You're wrong.
BAL. Cincinnati. Baltimore. It's correct. It's not quite.
Yeah, there's an extra E.
You have an extra E right there. Albuquerque.
Ugh,
Alright. Chicago, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Chicago, Pittsburgh, Kalamazoo, Elkhart.
Kalamazoo.
Capitalize, okay.
I feel like capitalizing.
Well, one you have to do, you're good.
Make sure to remember on the next one.
Elkhart's good, Kalamazoo, yes, Pittsburgh, Chicago.
Chicago.
Chicago. Alright, Milwaukee.
I don't know how to spell Milwaukee.
Well,
I have to make sure this one's
Philadelphia,
capitalized.
Savannah, Las Vegas. Nice. Also,
Savannah. You said no.
yeah, Savannah, Las Vegas. Las Vegas.
Yeah, capitalize it now.
Milwaukee.
Oh no, it's not very pretty.
It's not very pretty enough.
Shitty.
Milwaukee, you're on the right track. Now we just need a W here. A-U. My
I
bad.
signed it.
A-U-K-E.
Mr. Ken blew up.
That's not near
Sorry.
something close enough.
Philadelphia.
Cut, we did that.
Philadelphia.
I just changed all the symbols.
All right.
Put that one out.
El Paso.
Omaha.
Minneapolis. Who wants to go to Omaha? Nobody.
But
Where is
this
it?
sounds.
Omaha, Nebraska. Nobody wants to go to
I
Nebraska.
know we drove through it on our way back.
You never really want to go to Nebraska.
Why?
Yeah,
It's just
Boring. Do you want to go to Wisconsin?
no, that's even sketchier.
That's even worse.
Wisconsin is just
So
really
it's
sketchy.
If-
both words.
If you know someone.
so I'm comfortable with Wisconsin
Because you're from.
because I'm from there, so I know things. You need two ends.
Are you comfortable with Oregon?
Cool.
I love Oregon, but yeah, you need two ends there. And gender discretion.
So I didn't go.
I like
They work friends
Oregon.
better.
One place that's really cool
Niagara.
is Missouri.
Los Angeles.
You like Missouri?
Missouri.
Pensacola.
You wanna go
San
to Missouri?
Francisco, Pensacola.
Oh yeah, that one.
Man, I hope
I
I
mean,
can
Missouri is fine.
And you got
Gee.
I guess I
Wisconsin.
just associate Missouri with fun because I go there with dad on
G-A-R-A.
See what we gotta go out there for
It's
this.
just fun.
Erase.
Missouri is fine if you do the right stuff.
Yeah.
I can.
Well, like, I think, like.
Where's my best place?
I've never been
Oregon,
there, so I just
And
don't
then
know
when
what
I
it's
get
like.
bored
Yeah, me
about
neither.
it, it's when Kenzie
I-
and it's
Oregon's just the best.
Oh, that's all.
Hannibal.
It's very a long time ago.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Albuquerque. Baltimore.
Really? He's done a lot of things, but now he does food.
Ooh, okay, I can't remember how to spell it now. Okay, better just erase it.
Did you get Algebra?
I'm
Never got
Cherokee.
Algebra
Ah.
full time.
You haven't been over today.
No, even the whole.
Really? I thought that was pretty
I just forgot.
because you were on that end.
You've never given me Algebra.
I'm very thankful
I was
for
just
that.
under the impression that I always been reading about it.
I can't remember.
Cody Algebra.
I don't think I've had that.
That's right.
I've never had Albuquerque either.
What do you have? Albuquerque? I'll just have to dish out Albuquerque one more.
And Christie.
Kalamazoo, Elkhart, Chicago, Pittsburgh.
You gotta build ourselves an Elkhart. You gotta build ourselves an Albuquerque,
Kalamazoo.
which we don't know how to do that.
What is it? Kalamazoo?
Wait, wait.
Or Calamity?
This thing's got hours like you.
Chicago.
Isn't that what my type of elf?
It's like
Whoa.
16 by 16.
Okay.
It's called.
Where's the face? Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'm gonna
Okay, you are going to do Savannah,
Middle is one.
Las Vegas.
Ow. It's got his little
Hang
arm
on.
right here.
He's got ivory way back to his rear end.
Savannah, Las Vegas, Milwaukee.
That's his part.
Philadelphia.
If he doesn't, right? No. No, I missed.
Milwaukee, Philadelphia. Did you get yours?
No.
I'm Philadelphia.
No. Savannah, Las Vegas.
What's the one with Savannah?
Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, Las Vegas. He has a heart. Look at his heart. I like that part.
It's LAS for Vegas and V.
Oh, yeah, like that.
If Vegas is not capitalized, it will be wrong on your
You
test.
just erased him. Poor. It just died.
If Vegas is not capitalized, it will become ignored.
That is sad.
So I mentioned that.
It would
Chattanooga,
probably be counted wrong then.
Niagara. Well, that's the risk you're gonna have to take. Omaha and Minneapolis.
I got Omaha.
You did Omaha last time?
You can do Minneapolis.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Omaha.
I did Omaha last time. Oh, no, I was supposed to, never mind, I got messed up. Let's do El Paso.
Sorry, I blew up. Yeah, yeah, he blew up.
Alright.
That's not even funny.
I know. Then why did you laugh?
I don't know.
It's not actually funny when you think about it, but when I just
Hey,
pop
Richard
out.
had Chattanooga last time.
Once you have time to think
Pensacola,
about it, it's
San
like, oh, it's
Francisco.
really dumb.
Niagara,
San
Los
Francisco.
Angeles.
Wow, F is not working out.
Alright, Richard wanted to do Albuquerque.
No,
So did
I didn't.
No, I didn't. No, I
So
didn't.
both of you can do Albuquerque.
Okay, I'll beat you, Richard.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
No,
go.
don't read each other. And then the other two go.
Oh, that was pretty fast. I beat him.
Yeah, but yours is wrong.
No, I'm right.
Alright.
Hers is correct. And so is yours.
Hey,
Mine is
that's
much-
wrong. I don't know what we're
Yeah,
doing.
it's an
Oh, is that a you or an A?
It's a you.
It was, if it was you, it was correct.
Yeah, but it
It
wasn't to you, it
Yes,
was
it
an
wasn't
A.
you.
It is time for the Lunchables.
What is a lunchable? It's my luncheon.
Lunches. I'd like to take lunch with you. But I haven't the time.
Everybody,
There's
click.
no lie.
Mr. K, can you jump up in the air and click your heels together?
Helps if I have clickable heels.
Let's see it.
These are soft, unclickable heels.
Okay, where's the camera?
Look,
Get the
you
camera
try.
ready. Yeah.
Try, mister.
Here, give me. I'll take a picture. Let's see this.
Down already.
Oh, you're down. Do it again. Sorry, I missed it.
Mr. Cat.
It was too
Higher.
fast. Higher, way higher.
So you see the British with the Royal Guards.
That'd be funny if they went and kicked their foot.
They do.
Boom.
So they just like to have little bits of metal in the heels of their shoes, and that makes it click. So click.
And the other. It's weird.
They also have where some of them are big.
Zoom all
Why is clicking your heel in
If you do it
professional?
on camera, it'll zoom in like here's more. Like that.
I
There.
Richard can make noise with it.
Richard can make noise no matter what. All right.
That's my celebratory jump.
Your
Kick my
celebratory
desk.
jump. Jump for your sad and depressed jump.
This is my sad
When
one.
we're playing soccer, me and
And
Tom
depressed
always play
jump.
Cody and
Oh,
David.
depressed
And so when we do
A
it,
depressed jump is like.
so this is why.
Senor Ricardo, what's your turn to read?
It's Don Ricardo.
Don Ricardo?
Or Ricardito.
Dear God, thank you for this food, close to their bodies. Pray that we can remember the day and pray for all the people down in Haiti that they will be released. And pray that you protect one of them. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Ladies.
I got busted out laughing during prayer.
It's not even that funny. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
That seems to be the theme in our class. We laugh at funny stuff and it's like,
It said it's not funny.
so, well, who brought that to you? I mean, we were all happy. It was funny. I don't know.
It's better than fighting, but it is kind of annoying.
Can be.
Oh, we would all maybe fight.
Aren't you supposed to be Russian? D or B or da, whatever.
Duh.
But D. Amsel was lame.
Oh, what?
he was.
D. Amsel.
Mine is D. D. M.
Creative.
A week ago or something, I was flipping through my old beacons. And like all of the versions, their middle name is B. Like,
It's Berkey.
Berkey. They just have B.
Their mom's name is Berkey. It's like Grandpa Nevin's middle name, and all her siblings, their name is B, and it stands for Fergie.